Saturday night in Brewtown, and a big crowd, another sellout crowd filing in to see this one. It's the Brewers and the Philadelphia Phillies. Game 3 of this 4-game series. Milwaukee looking for the first win of this set. Philadelphia with the best record in all of baseball. They have 92 wins already. That is a franchise record for them at this point of the schedule. Milwaukee, the second best record, 85-61, but the Diamondbacks are clipping at their heels for the second best in the National League. And we are going gold tonight. Fans encouraged to wear their gold t-shirts or any kind of gold gear they can come up with as a sellout crowd is set to go. Hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park. We've got our gold on. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us tonight. We're looking forward to this matchup. It's the Brewers and the Phillies, and Milwaukee trying to get things in order here. They'll have to match up against Cliff Lee, and you look at this buzzsaw of pitching the Brewers have run into lately. I think the Brewers have to remind themselves they're a pretty good offensive team.
I don't think you have to remind them. They know they are. They've just run into a tough stretch right now. But let's start off with maybe the hottest guy right now, Corey Hart, since he's been put in that leadoff spot. He's been outstanding. He had that long hitting streak. He continues to swing the bat pretty well over his last 21 games. He has been very good. And Ryan Braun continues to chase that batting title this year, the first in franchise history. Look at the leaderboard. Ryan Braun, Prince Fielder, all over the stats in the National League offensive category. So the Brewers just need to remind themselves they can hit, and they have hit Cliff Lee in the past.
Well, it has been Carpenter, Hamels, Halladay. Tonight it is Cliff Lee, the pitcher of the month in the month of August. He is on some kind of roll. We'll talk about the starting pitchers when we continue. Presented by Triple Hop Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. By Feltco. For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4FELTCO. And by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. Crowd still filing into Miller Park on a beautiful Saturday night for baseball in the great Midwest. And we're looking forward to this matchup with Randy Wolf. He has been one of the best pitchers the Brewers have had all season. Certainly one of the most consistent. He is 12-9, a 3.47 ERA. Yes, the players are in their gold tops here today, breaking out the gold Brewers jerseys. And there is Cliff Lee, and he is making a serious run at a Cy Young Award. 16 wins, 7 losses, an ERA of 2.47. And we welcome you back to Miller Park. And Rock, Cliff Lee gets the ball tonight for the Phillies. This Philadelphia ball club, not only do they lead the major leagues in victories, but they're hot right now. They're playing like a championship caliber team, and it's going to go through that starting pitching, and Lee might be the best in that group.
Yeah, best in a couple of guys that have been pretty good. Halliday yesterday, but Cliff Lee, when you look at his numbers, he has been outstanding. His last 6 starts, 6-0, a minuscule earned run average. Keep in mind, Cliff Lee gave up all of 2 earned runs, 2 runs combined in the month of August. His last start in September, he did not give up a run either. So Cliff Lee, certainly a guy that is going to test this Brewers offense. Outstanding work. As you mentioned, he's already got a Cy Young Award under his belt. And for the Brewers, Randy Wolf, he's got his work cut out for him. This Philadelphia offense has been pretty good and hasn't been the household names. You've got Ryan Howard out of the lineup. Utley's out of the lineup. Jimmy Rollins not playing, but Randy Wolf in his last start, pretty good. 8 innings, 1 run against the St. Louis Cardinals, and the only win for the Brewers in St. Louis.
Yeah, the Brewers were to a magic number of 11 after that victory. They are still there. They need to get some movement as the Brewers are trying to seal up their first division title as a member of the National League. Game 3, we're ready to go on WMLW. It's the Phillies and the Crew, and it's coming up next. The Phillies tonight. Shane Victorino, Placido Polanco, then Hunter Pence, John Mayberry, Ben Francisco, and Carlos Ruiz, with Wilson Valdez, Michael Martinez, and Cliff Lee rounding it out. And on the mound for the Brewers will be Randy Wolf, and the numbers courtesy of Lexus. Rock.
Yeah, making his 30th start of the year. He was a Philadelphia Philly for 4 years, 02 to 05. Last time he faced Philadelphia, he was a 9-0 winner in the only start of the season back on April 19th.
And defensively, the Brewers have Ron Gomez and Hart, an infield of McGee, Betancourt, Hairston, and Fielder, with Kotaris doing the catching. Defense brought to you by Menards. And the game's first pitch is popped up Shane Victorino in the air to short. Betancourt will make the play for the first out. And that is how Randy Wolf's night begins. No Ryan Howard in the starting lineup tonight for Philadelphia. He's been nursing a foot injury. Certainly made an impact last night, however. He hit a 3-run home run in the first inning. And that put the Phillies on the track to another victory. Placido Polanco with one away. 4-man umpiring crew tonight. Todd Tishner calling the balls and strikes. Jerry Davis is the crew chief. Greg Gibson, Angel Hernandez on the bases. Polanco into left field, pretty well hit. Braun is back at the track. He's got it. 2 gone in the first.
Now you go back to Randy's last start. He had very good command of his changeup. He threw an awful lot of changeups to the Cardinals in that win at Busch Stadium, and a very good curveball. Was very careful when he was using the fastball. Look for him to do much the same against the Phillies tonight. Probably the best changeup that we've seen Randy Wolf all year.
Well, Randy Wolf really turned things around last year at the All-Star break, and from that point he has been one of the best pitchers for the Brewers. He continues to take the ball every 5th day. This has been a pretty durable bunch so far. Zach Greinke missed the first month of the season with a broken rib, but that's been it. Narveson missed a couple of starts with a thumb injury, but overall the Brewers have stayed healthy, and they've only used 6 starting pitchers this season, the fewest starters of any club in the major leagues, and Wolf has been right at the head of that class. Pitching against his former club, the Phillies, where the Wolf Pack began. As Hunter Pence rips one deep left, and that is way back and gone. And the Phillies started with a bang again. Pence with number 19. Now 86 runs batted in. One of the big pickups at the trade deadline, and Pence gives the Phillies an early lead tonight.
As that fastball we were talking about, and not well located that time. Inner half, it was supposed to be inside. He left it out over the plate, and Pence able to put it in that second deck in left field. Tough enough to beat Philadelphia. You can't continue to play from behind. And Hunter Pence tonight gives the the Phillies an early lead.
It was Ryan Howard last night. Hunter Pence tonight. And in the lineup for Ryan Howard is John Mayberry Jr. He's at first base this evening. Howard getting his second night off in this series. Mayberry started at first on Thursday night and had 2 hits and a walk. Rips that one into right center. Gomez is there, and the side is retired. 8 pitches for Randy Wolf, but the Phillies are on the board courtesy of Hunter Pence. in about 6 weeks of action. 8 home runs, now 24 RBIs against the Phillies, the early lead. And now Ron Renicky will turn it over to his offense against Cliff Lee. And the batting order that Renicky puts together today: Corey Hart leads off, Jerry Hairston Jr. batting second with Ryan Braun in the 3-hole. Middle of the order is Fielder, McGee, and Betancourt, with Gomez, Cotaris, and Randy Wolf rounding it out.
Well, our Lexus starter, it's Cliff Lee tonight for Philadelphia. He's won 7 in a row, and he's only got 2 losses since the end of May. May 31st, he lost a ball game and has only got 2 losses since that time. So he has been on a roll, one of the best in the business.
Lee facing Corey Hart to start it. Corey come in batting .279, has 24 homers this year. 5 of those are leadoff home runs, and 55 runs batted in. Hart just 1 hit in this series. That was a home run against Cole Hamels back on Thursday night. Well, for any starting pitcher, if you go through a game and you give up 2 earned runs, that's considered a good start, a quality start. Cliff Lee gave up 2 earned runs in the entire month of August.
Right. 5-0 and a .45 earned run average for Cliff Lee in August.
Pop up in foul territory, and there is out number 1. Check the defense for the Phillies. Brought to you by Menards. Ben Francisco, Shane Victorino, Hunter Pence. At infield, Polanco, Valdez, Martinez, and Mayberry. And Carlos Ruiz doing the catching.
Well, he's got all the pitches. The Brewers saw a lot of cut fastballs from Roy Halladay in last night's ball game. They're going to see a lot today from the left-hander. Halladay going away from a right-hander. Cliff Lee is going to cut the ball in on a right-hander. Very good change-up to go with it.
Jerry Hairston Jr. will bat with 1 away. And on the first pitch, little flare into shallow right. Pence is there for out number 2. What's interesting about Cliff Lee, you talk about his month of August, that 5-0 record and a 0.45 ERA. And you say to yourself, now that is a great month, but it's not even his best month of the season. He had a month in June where he gave up just 1 earned run.
Yeah, 1 earned run in 42 innings of work. He gave up 21 hits, 8 walks, 29 strikeouts in the month of June. So to say the least, he's been pretty good this year. And Brewers certainly have the work cut out for him. The emphasis is going to be on Randy Wolf to keep the Phillies off the board. You don't want to be playing from behind against this Phillies pitching staff.
Well, Ryan Braun with 2 away. Yesterday against Roy Halladay, Braun had 2 hits. He was 2 for 4. Fielder next. And the Brewers trying to get Fielder's bat going once again. Usually how Braun and Fielder go together, that's how the Brewers go. Milwaukee has lost 4 in a row now overall. They've lost 5 consecutive home games. As Lee strikes out Braun with that big curveball in a 1-2-3 first inning. cool looking hats there. Appropriate here at Miller Park. Randy Wolf back on the mound. He'll face Ben Francisco to lead off. Francisco, Ruiz, and Valdez. Cliff Lee looked sharp in the first. 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout. Broke out a curveball on Ryan Braun. And a line shot, a base hit. Francisco rips one to left, a single to start the second inning for the Phillies.
Yep, 77 miles an hour. The changeup for Randy Wolf, the pitch that was so good for him in St. Louis. There it is right there, and a pretty good job by Francisco to wait back. Outer half and not down enough, and Francisco hits it hard.
Well, it has to be a bit of a comfort for these Philly hitters to have such a great pitching staff every night. The best kind of hitter is a relaxed hitter, and when you roll out the 5 starters that the Phillies do, that's a pretty good opportunity to relax and know that you don't have to score a whole lot of runs to win ball games.
And even better when you get on top early. Charlie Manuel has the luxury with the big lead over the Atlanta Braves to be able to, rest Ryan Howard. Second day off that he's had in this series.
Howard nursing a foot injury, a little bit of bursitis. He has some tightness in his Achilles. His numbers aren't very good against Randy Wolf, but Howard's not the kind of guy you play the numbers with. But as Charlie Manuel weaves through the rest of the schedule for the Phillies, and Rock mentioned the big lead, their magic number is down to 9. Not just to secure a division title, but also to secure home field throughout the postseason. You can afford to mix and match and pick your days when you want to give Ryan Howard off, and it comes in this series against Chris Narveson and Randy Wolf, 2 left-handers.
And you wonder when he's going to be able to rest Carlos Ruiz from time to time, but you knew it wasn't going to be today against Randy Wolf. Of the guys in the lineup, Ruiz has had the most success, 5 for 9 with a home run against Wolfie. This guy is a tough out. He might not show it in the numbers. He's got the average over 280, but not a lot of run production, but he is not an easy out. You have to make good pitches.
5 for 9 against Wolf with 5 runs batted in his career. Ruiz will not be in the starting lineup tomorrow, most likely, as he lifts one in the air to center, and Gomez puts it away for the first out. Usually Brian Schneider is the personal catcher of Vance Worley, who is tomorrow's starting pitcher. And before you go along and say, oh, Vance Worley, that sounds like a guy the Brewers could beat, he's been one of their best winners as far as winning percentage goes. Vance Worley with an 11-1 record gets the ball against Giovanni Gallardo tomorrow.
Well, at least he's not a former Cy Young Award winner or a World Series MVP. That's all they got over there.
This ends a stretch for the Brewers where they faced 3 out of 4 former Cy Young Award winners. Hamill's the only one in that group that has not won a Cy Young Award. He's certainly in the conversation for one this year, but he was a World Series MVP back in 08. Carpenter, Hamels, Halladay, tonight Cliff Lee. Wilson Valdez, the hitter for the Phillies. That slow curveball from Randy Wolf. One thing the Phillies have done in this series, because they have had early leads, they have had big innings, they have taken out sellout crowds every night. They have taken them out early. Last night, the 3-run homer by Howard. So yes, the Brewers are still packing Miller Park, and they are sellouts. The 3rd consecutive sellout, as a matter of fact. But they are very quiet at this point with what Philadelphia has been to do, and that's what great pitching does, and it's what early offense does as well.
Yeah, when you don't have a lot going on offensively, hitting home runs, men on base, I mean, the crowd is going to be somewhat quiet.
Got a chance for 2 here. Betancourt, Hairston in time. Randy Wolf able to get a double play ball from Wilson Valdez. And a scoreless second inning. In baseball, it's just not summer without them. And by Steinhoffels, Wisconsin's #1 furniture and mattress store since 1934. What a beautiful night in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The roof is open, not a cloud in the sky, and temperatures in the middle 70s as we begin play here tonight. It's a gold out here at Miller Park. Going gold tonight, breaking out the gold jersey tops for the first time since Cerveceros Day, as Cliff Lee delivers one right under the chin of Prince Fielder. And when you have the command of Cliff Lee, you know that one ended up right where he wanted it to.
Well, and the reason is that Prince is 5 for 6 against Cliff Lee in his career. Sending a message, trying to open up that outside corner. Coming inside again.
Fielder with 31 home runs this year, 108 runs batted in. Now second in the league in RBIs behind Ryan Howard, who has 111. And it's quickly 3-0 on Prince. Fielder with 6 RBIs in just 6 at-bats lifetime against Cliff Lee. And he walks him on 4 straight. Well, a base runner to start the second inning. And a rare walk given up by Lee, and now Casey McGee will hit.
Doesn't matter how good you are and how good you have been going. Everybody knows, when you're out on the mound, what hitters give you a tough time. And Cliff Lee wanted no part of Prince Fielder. 40 walks in 203 2/3 innings before tonight, and he walks Prince on 4 pitches. That was by design.
So now Lee will go to work on McGee. Casey with 12 homers, 65 driven in this year. And he starts him with a strike. A changeup in there for strike 1. Now McGee had a good day yesterday at the plate. One of the few bright spots offensively for Milwaukee. Casey was on 3 times. He walked twice and had a double. Scored a couple of runs as well.
Got to get Casey going, get Prince going, get Casey going, get this offense back to where it was last week. Of course, the pitching that they have faced has something to do with that.
McGee on the ground to third, and Polanco will start a 5-4. No double play turn. That gets by Mayberry. A bad throw from Martinez.
Didn't have to rush. Casey not very fast down that line. And Martinez rushed his throw to first base, not even close. And Casey McGee will get second base, so a man in scoring position on a Philly error. One of the few that they've committed this year, only 62 now, the fewest in all of baseball. And that one bounces about 6 feet in front of first base. Mayberry, no shot.
No, I'm sure Prince Fielder's footsteps make a loud rumble, but he was nowhere close to the bag. And Martinez, who's normally an excellent defender, unable to get off a good throw there. And a rare error by the Phillies. First Philly error of the series. Now Betancourt with a chance to drive in a run. And a swing and a miss. 0-2 the count.
Yeah, the Phillies with the best earned run average as a team in the National League and the best defense. Tells you all you need to know as to why they won 93 games already.
Phillies got a run in the first on a Hunter Pence home run. Now the Brewers a chance to tie it up. Last night Betancourt drove in 2 runs. He was 1 for 3 at the plate. After the Brewers lost that game last night, just a few moments after that, the St. Louis Cardinals had a comeback win in the 9th inning. Actually, a comeback to tie in the 9th, and they won it in the 10th. Back up the middle and a base hit. Here comes McGee. He's going to try to score. And the throw by Victorino and a collision at home. The ball pops free. Safe is the call as McGee scores to tie it.
Boy, what a great job by Casey McGee. Well, Carlos Ruiz loves to block home plate. We saw it last night. Ruiz right in front of him on a sacrifice fly. Casey tried to run around him. Was able to score, but this time he blew him up at home plate. And hats off to Casey McGee. What a throw by Victorino in center field. Now watch him come in. Perfect throw. There's Ruiz. Knocks the ball loose. Boy, what a collision and a run in for Milwaukee.
All tied up. Betancourt singles. It's an RBI. Goes to second on the throw. And McGee learning a lesson from last night. Rock, you mentioned it on the air last night that Ruiz puts himself in a pretty vulnerable spot in front of home plate. And McGee did not forget. As Gomez bounces one to second. And he is retired. On the play, Betancourt advances to third.
Yeah, it was a play, last night on a sac fly. Casey, it seemed like he was going to score easily, but Ruiz was standing right in front of home plate. Casey tried to move around him and not make any contact and actually missed home plate. When nobody saw it, the run scored. This time, Casey McGee saying, all right, you're going to stand there, you're going to have to pay the price. Good hard baseball by Casey McGee.
Evens a score at 1 apiece. How about Uni Betancourt now with the last 3 RBIs for Milwaukee. And George Kataris taking a strike from Lee.
So the error by Martinez comes back to haunt Cliff Lee.
Tough draw tonight for Kataris against the left-hander. Let's take you back to sequence here. We put them together in the truck. This was last night. Ruiz standing right in front of the plate, and McGee trying to go around him, didn't want to collide with him. Tonight, he says, forget that. He goes right through him.
Well, Ruiz is a tough customer, one of the toughest in the game at home plate. He protected himself well. You saw Ruiz, he was in position, good position to block home plate, just dropped the baseball.
Lee strikes out Kataris. But the Brewers even the score with a bang at home plate. Casey McGee knocks the ball free from Carlos Ruiz, and we're all even at 1 apiece as we go to the third. Now Casey McGee knocking the ball loose and scoring the tying run in the second inning. Some hard-nosed baseball, just what you like to see. Casey McGee, not a guy who's ever been afraid of some contact either. Normally Ruiz doesn't drop those. It's like running into a fire hydrant back there. He's got that low clearance and center of gravity.
No, it's not something he can work on. I mean, he did everything right. Just, Casey knocked the ball out of his glove. That happens sometimes, even with the toughest of catchers behind home plate.
Now Randy Wolf facing Michael Martinez. And he lines one to left, a base hit. So the Phillies with their third hit already.
September 24th against the Marlins is Fan Appreciation Night. Presented by Chevrolet, all fans in attendance will be automatically entered for the chance to win fabulous prizes, including a 2012 Chevy Cruze.
Well, it's so great to see the ballpark packed every night. Brewers are going to sell out for the 31st time this year. Expecting another big crowd tomorrow for Giovanni Gallardo in the final game of the series with the Phillies.
Good to hear the crowd get into it on that play at home plate. Maybe that's going to kickstart this Brewers offense. Who knows?
Well, the Phillies know as much as anyone with their great crowds at Citizens Bank, which has a long sellout streak going. One of the loudest places to play. Very comparable to Miller Park, as a matter of fact. But they're into it in Philadelphia. And loud crowds. They know what kind of effect it can have on the opposition. For the most part, the Phillies have taken out these big crowds, but not last inning. Lee bunts it foul. Got a piece of Kataris. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. That might have got a piece of his thumb.
Yeah, Cliff Lee was shaking his hand a little bit, kind of upset that ball nearly hit him. The pitch was inside. Not sure what Lee is shaking his head about, whether it be where the pitch was or what, but that did hit his hand.
Yeah, got him on the knuckle.
Hit his finger, his pitching hand. Never did get the bat. Let's see how that's going to affect things out there for Cliff Lee. A career 172 hitter, not too bad. 212 this year.
It's like George is limping a little bit as well. So that missed bunt is Lee's checking out his knuckles. It was a 2-banger. It got Lee's finger and it got a piece of Kataris as well. He looks a little shaken up.
Looks a little concerned, actually.
2 balls, 2 strikes with a runner at first, and Lee gets the bunt down. McGee will make the play to first for the out. And now we'll keep a close eye on Cliff Lee to see if he's going to be able to come back. Now, mark September 19th on your schedule right now. That's the day that Third Rock from the Sun and the Big Bang Theory come to WMLW. A full hour of each rock every weekday. Third Rock from the Sun from 5 to 6, and the Big Bang Theory from 6 to 7 starting September 19th here on WMLW. That is breaking news.
Yeah.
So Cliff Lee retired a sacrifice bunt. And 1 away. Martinez out at second base. Here is Shane Victorino. Casey playing deep at third. And Rich Doobie checking on Cliff Lee.
Not a whole lot of concern down in that Phillies dugout. Athletic trainer going to be down to grab something. Who knows what it is, but doesn't look too serious down there.
Well, Lee now shaking his head. Looks like he's headed back into the clubhouse.
Nothing happening down in that Phillies bullpen. I think just irritated with himself because of a bad effort at the bunt. Not enough to really take him out of the ball game, but might affect his pitches. Who knows?
0-2 pitch, and that one's in the air. Victorino, a pop up into shallow center. One center fielder to another. Carlos Gomez makes a catch. 2 gone in the inning. Martinez still at second base. Placido Polanco with 2 away. As we've talked about in this series, the Phillies do a lot of their damage offensively with 2 outs. Over 44% of their runs scored this season have come with 2 outs. And they have posted a boatload of runs with 2 away in this series.
Yeah, best batting average in these situations. Runners in scoring position and 2 away. 274 coming in. That's a lot of hits.
Phillies have scored 9 runs with 2 outs in this series alone. 9 of the 12 that have been scored.
And Wolfie having a tough time with that changeup tonight. That was a pitch that he was able to throw just about every time he wanted to for a strike against the Cardinals in his last start. Continues to try and find it.
2-0 on Polanco with a runner at second. And there's a changeup again. Fouled away. 2-1 on Placido Polanco.
You just can't give up on it. If it's not working for you early in the game, you just got to keep trying to throw it. He was able to throw it over the plate, but down in the zone against the Cardinals. Having a tough time keeping it down tonight.
See what he does with him here. 2-1. Got a fastball. 3-1 the count. Got the dangerous Hunter Pence on deck. Pence homered in the first inning, putting the Phillies on the board. 2 outs and a 3-1 count for Randy Wolf. Up the middle. And it is knocked down by Hairston. And that saves a run. That was a good play by Jerry Hairston. No chance to get an out, but he saves a run with Martinez running with 2 outs.
Hey, you told us an infielder, man at second, 2 outs, do whatever you can to knock it down, keep it in the infield to keep that run from scoring. And Martinez doing a good job not anticipating that ball going into center field. He holds it third. He would have been an easy out at home.
Hairston's been nursing a neck injury. Did it while at the plate in St. Louis, aggravated it on a dive defensively in St. Louis. We'll see how that affects him the rest of the game. First and third for Pence. Pence hit a long home run to left field in the first inning. Home run number 8 as a Philly. It was a no-doubter. 19 overall for Pence, splitting time between the Astros and the Phillies this year.
Yep, a mistake fastball outer in a little bit too much of the plate, inner half, and Pence hit it well.
And Wolf falling behind him 3-0. Pence and Wolf were teammates with the Astros in 08. Pence's second year in the big leagues. And Pence draws a walk on 4 straight. So that'll load the bases here in the third. John Mayberry Jr. coming up for the Phillies. Now the Phillies were wondering where they were going to find some production from the right side of the plate. They had a big loss via free agency in Jason Worth, and Mayberry certainly had his chances. But they made the trade to acquire Hunter Pence, and all of a sudden, as Pence gets to Philadelphia and starts playing well, John Mayberry Jr. starts to pick it up a little bit. Maybe a little bit of pressure taken off him. Well, he's had a great run for the Phillies.
Playing at first base, he's played left field. And big time power, 13 home runs in 221 at bats.
Charlie Manuel was taking a good hard look at Dominic Brown and John Mayberry Jr. Mayberry hitting .317 over his last 37 games. A big cut. And it's quickly 0-2.
Down and in, and Mayberry tried to golf it on out of here.
See Cliff Lee and Charlie Manuel sharing a few laughs about that bunt attempt that hit Lee in the fingers. Looks like he's all right. But we'll see how it affects his pitches next inning. Randy Wolf trying to pitch out of a bases loaded jam. The 0-2 to Mayberry. Fastball missed.
This is where Randy Wolf has been very effective with his curveball. Curveball down around the shoe tops. And get your ground ball, your swing and miss. Set him up with a fastball away. Ordinarily comes back with the curveball.
Got him. Wolf strikes him out. John Mayberry strands the bases loaded. Now they're on their feet at Miller Park. All tied at 1, the Phillies and the Brewers, as we go to the bottom of the third. And you see the logo branded behind home plate. We'll be remembering 9/11 tomorrow. Big event here tomorrow at Miller Park. Obviously the baseball game, but a lot of discussion. We've been lining up a number of players to give us their thoughts and their memories. And we'll have that for you tomorrow on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Hard to believe it's been a decade since the tragedy of 9/11, 2001.
Yeah, time goes by fast, doesn't it? Never forget.
You know, baseball was a big part of the healing process, getting back to normal, as normal can be after that. So we're looking forward to a day of remembrance tomorrow, and hopefully a good ball game between the Brewers and the Phillies, as the last game of the series will happen tomorrow afternoon. Brewers will welcome in the Colorado Rockies next week, a 2-game series with the Rockies beginning Tuesday. So Milwaukee actually has a day off Monday and Thursday next week.
Right.
Rare days off this time of year. The Phillies don't have a day off the rest of the season. Wolf, a little slow roller foul.
After most Sunday Brewers home games, kids 16 and under can run the bases here at Miller Park and get a coupon for a $2 off their next haircut. That's compliments of great clips. I remember the Brewers resumed play that year after 9/11 in St. Louis. A very emotional speech given by Jack Buck before the ball game.
Yeah, the late Jack Buck. He said it well.
I'll tell you what, Cliff Lee not afraid to come inside. He buzzed the tower on Prince Fielder. Now Randy Wolf, maybe a little bit irritated that Wolf came in on him on that bunt attempt.
And a swing and a miss. One pitch sets up the other as Lee strikes out Randy Wolf. Third strikeout for Cliff Lee. Yeah, probably some anxious moments there watching Lee start this inning after he was hit in the knuckles on a bunt attempt last inning, but his stuff looks sharp. That pitch ball got him on the pitching hand. Once you saw the manager laughing, though, Charlie Manuel having some fun with him, you figured he was going to be all right. But Lee did go back to the clubhouse with the athletic trainer.
Yep, probably a bruise that perhaps could get a bit worse as the game goes on. Who knows?
Up the middle, and that's going to sneak through. A base hit, so Corey Hart. A one-out hit, and the Brewers with a base runner. Their leadoff hitter delivers with a single.
Well, one thing's for sure, you know Cliff Lee is going to throw strikes. You have a pretty good combination right now for a hit and run. You know, get something going, make something different happen that you just can't sit back and wait for the big home runs against guys like Lee and Holiday. See if Ron Renicky puts a play on in front of Ryan Braun.
Cliff Lee now 32 years of age. Last year he started with the Mariners, was traded to the Rangers, and a big reason why the Rangers were able to skate all the way to the World Series. Lee was bounced around quite a bit. He actually was with the Phillies in '09 and was their game one starter in the postseason. That was his first postseason game, and Lee, not to the dramatic effect of Roy Halladay, finished the game as well. He went 9 innings against the Colorado Rockies in his postseason debut. Many felt Lee was headed to the Yankees. And if it wasn't going to be the Yankees, potentially the Texas Rangers, but the team that was under the radar, because it seemed like the Phillies payroll was at a max. They were tapped out, and yet it was the Phillies who was able to sign Cliff Lee.
Somehow found the money to sign him and bring Hunter Pence over.
Up the middle again. Gloved by Valdez, and he will start a double play to end the inning. 6-3 double play. We go to the fourth, all tied at 1. Inning home run. It came with 2 outs. A solo home run for Pence, number 19 of the year, gave the Phillies the early lead. The Brewers were able to come back and tie it. Uni Betancourt with a base hit. Casey McGee plowing his way to the plate and plowing over Carlos Ruiz. He knocked the ball free, and the Brewers were able to tie it up. McGee fired up after evening the score as Randy Wolf back on the mound. First ball swinging. Francisco out number 1. Well, your teachers have lost.
Yeah, I wonder what the bet was. Maybe an A?
So an extra hour of recess.
It's a little bit old for recess.
Good point. An extra hour of study hall.
Doing nothing. No homework for a week.
I've been a little challenged by the 6th grade homework this year, Rock. I got to be honest with you.
Really? I started to become challenged in 3rd grade. My kids, 3rd grade homework. It's not so much the answer anymore, it's how you get the answer.
Right.
Right?
There's always a way. Not my way.
What's the difference how you get the answer? Once you get it.
Why can't you just use your calculator? That's what I do now.
You got to show your work. Why?
School is back.
Yeah.
And we tip our hat to all of the teachers out there watching our broadcast. Have a soft spot in our hearts for teachers and school administrators. My wife is a teacher, and Rock's father, a high school principal for many years. High school
principal. That's why I turned out so behaved.
That's why he can take a paddling.
That's right.
Base hit. Carlos Ruiz.
Very fortunate that I did not attend the same school that my father was a principal. That would have been a drag.
I don't know who this hurts worse, Rock. You or me. Is your dad one of those guys who had the paddle with the holes drilled in it?
No.
So you didn't get any air resistance?
No corporal punishment in my family. And my dad didn't call me Rock back then.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He still doesn't.
Runner goes, little tapper, and Wolf will make the play to first for the out. Ruiz advances to second. 2 gone in the inning. Subway trivia tonight, which former Phillies infielder made 3 straight All-Star games with the Brewers from 76 to 78. Wow, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I guess there's a chance he could be in the ballpark tonight.
And he is. In uniform. Yep.
It's all about the food. So 2 gone with a runner at second. And Michael Martinez at the plate takes a strike. Martinez committed an error in the 2nd inning. Led to an unearned run given up by Cliff Lee. Phillies don't make many mistakes, so when they do, it's good to take advantage, and the Brewers did in the 2nd inning. Martinez has had some big hits for the Phillies this year. Been filling in all around the infield. No Utley, no Rollins. Martinez has played at third base as well this year. Polanco has been nursing a back injury throughout the season.
No, just like the Brewers. I mean, he has some position players hurt, but the rotation has been able to stay intact. And that's why both of these teams are where they're at in first place. They're starting pitching. Brewers just behind the Phillies in wins for their starters. And not far behind at that.
Well, you hear a lot of talk about Charlie Manuel, the job he's done working around the injuries to the Phillies, and they've lost significant time from some of their key hitters, no question, and he has done a good job. But he's been able to roll out the 5 best starting pitchers in the game pretty much every day, and that is a luxury that most do not have. And you could say the same for Ron Renicky. 1-2. Martinez takes one off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the Phillies second baseman.
You see Randy Wolf working Martinez away. The fastball that he hit for his base hit his first time up was inside. And Todd Tishner is giving it to somebody in that Brewers dugout, thinking those last 2 pitches were strikes.
So George Kataris will do his best to simmer down the home plate umpire before this next pitch. And Randy Wolf, a friendly reminder, you know, my brother's a big league umpire. I hear you. That one misses. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Todd Tishner.
He was upset, wasn't he?
That was a bit of a quick snap there on the Brewer dugout.
I'm a little scared listening to that. I thought maybe he's talking to me. He was not happy with somebody in there.
Randy's older brother, Jim Wolf, a major league umpire. Full count, runner at second. Phillies have the go-ahead run in scoring position. And a bouncing ball to short. Betancourt will wind it up. And he takes care of Martinez. So Randy Wolf gets through the 4th, and the big boys are coming up for Milwaukee in their gold tops. Braun, Fielder, McGee against Cliff Lee when we come back. All tied at 1, the Brewers and the Phillies, game 3 of this series. And our Subway trivia question: which former Phillies infielder made 3 straight All-Star games with the Brewers from '76 to '78? The answer is Don Money, who is the AAA manager for Milwaukee and Nashville. And there's the old skipper, terrific infielder he was. Not just an All-Star, but a great leader, and he was on those terrific teams of the early '80s, but his heyday, he was in the prime of his career in the late '70s.
Yep,
mid to late '70s.
Yep, 73 to 83 infielder with Milwaukee. Predominantly playing third base at the time. Started his career as a second baseman.
Came up with the Phillies and was eventually sent to the Brewers. 1973, his first year with Milwaukee.
Most of the Brewers roster has gone through Don Money, that in the minor leagues, knows them all very well.
Ryan Braun against Cliff Lee to start the bottom of the 4th inning. Braun quickly down 0-2. Lee struck him out in the first.
in a similar pattern. You know, fastballs, then the big curveball to get Brawny on strikes. Done the same thing in this at bat.
Braun and Fielder for the second time against Lee. Fielder walked his last time up. Always a great matchup when you get this caliber of pitcher against Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder. And he rips one into left. Boy, that is just a beautiful piece of hitting.
And that's the kind of approach that will win you a batting title right there. And the same pattern for Lee against Braun in back-to-back at bats. This time Braun shortens up his swing. First time up, Brawny had a big swing of that curveball, came up empty. And doing a nice job shortening up and just banging it into left field. That's a beautiful approach, a good at bat for Braun, and a leadoff base runner for Milwaukee. Second time tonight.
That is the pitch that struck out Braun in the first inning. Ryan makes the adjustment, able to hit it hard in that location. That's what's impressive.
There aren't too many quadrants of the strike zone that Ryan Braun can't handle. And down and in is certainly one that he likes. Down and in, down and away, not too bad.
Fielder gets sawed off, but that is going to fall for a base hit. And here comes Braun to third. The throw is late. Fielder to second. He's in there. Braun and Fielder making it go in the fourth. Second and third, nobody out against Cliff Lee.
Well, his success against Lee continues now. 6 for 7 against the left-hander. And not pretty, but very effective. That ball dumps just inside that left field line, and Prince get all the way to second base. Up and in, jams him, but he keeps it fair. In no man's land out there, down the line and left. So a very good start to the inning in the fourth.
That'll be a double for Fielder. Braun's wheels gets him to third, and Fielder falls in right behind him. Second and third, nobody out. Big spot. McGee a chance to give the Brewers the lead. And a bouncing ball to short. This will get the run home as McGee delivers a ground ball out. 2-1 Milwaukee.
And an actual earned run against Cliff Lee. Well, he doesn't give up many runs at all. In 5 of his last 6 starts, not including tonight, did not allow a run, earned or unearned. He's given up 2 runs tonight, and 1 of them earned. That's how good he's been.
McGee's been a part of it twice. He scored the first run and now drives in the second. 2-1 Brewers. Here is Betancourt, who drove in McGee back in the second inning. Betancourt now has 60 runs batted in for the season to go along with 11 homers. That one's hit hard but foul. Just got out ahead of it, did Uni. Count evens at 1-1. Carlos Gomez due to hit next. Betancourt trying to play run producer here in the fourth inning. Uni coming off his best career year last year for the Royals. Hit 16 homers, 78 runs batted in.
A lot of cut fastballs from Lee. We've seen a lot of those and a lot of four-seam fastballs. Not too many changeup. He might be saving that for later on. And not very good news in St. Louis.
Cardinals out in front of Derek Lowe and the Braves 4-0 after a snatch 'em back win last night. Atlanta is leaking a little oil right now. Their bullpen is banged up, a lot of innings. They've got 2 starters out.
Craig Kimbrell, a rare blown save last night.
That was Albert Pujols who drove in 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning to tie the game. The Braves would surrender to the Cardinals in the 10th. Full count to Uni B. Swing and a miss. Lee strikes him out for out number 2.
Hey, place a down payment on your 2012 Brewers season tickets and guarantee your 2011 postseason Brewer ticket rights at Miller Park. Call 414-902-HITS or visit Brewers.com.
2 gone. Fielder still at second base. And here's Carlos Gomez. Gomez just returning to the active roster after he broke his collarbone just after the All-Star break. That was in Arizona. Gomez missed 38 games on the disabled list. Went on the DL 3rd week of July, just returned on September 1st.
And just having a tough time up there at the plate, really not seeing the ball all that well.
Gomez did go to the minor leagues for a rehab assignment, 4 games there. But his at-bats have been few and far between as he swings and misses. Lee strikes out Gomez. And the inning is over, but the Brewers take the lead. Casey McGee's been heavily involved tonight. Knocked the ball out of Ruiz's glove in the 2nd. And then he drives in the go-ahead run here in the 4th. Beautiful shot of the moon on a clear night in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 2-1, the Brewers lead the Phillies. As we go to the 5th, Randy Wolf will face Cliff Lee to start it. Lee dropped down a sacrifice bunt his last time up. Actually took a pitch off the knuckles trying to bunt back in the 3rd inning. Lee's been a good hitter this year for Philadelphia. He's actually maintained a plus 200 batting average, which is kind of the milestone marker for a pitcher at the plate. Lee hitting .212 this year. Has a couple of home runs and he's driven in 7. Betancourt backhands it. Long throw in time. Nice play. So 1 gone. The pitcher retired. Back to the top of the order. How about Randy Wolf? The howler where the Wolf Pack started. And Philadelphia Phillies uniform. His numbers as a Philly, you know, the numbers a little bit skewed, I think, Rock, toward the end of his Phillies career because he started to have some injuries at that point the last couple of seasons, but still a a winning record as a member of the Phillies.
His best year was 03, 16-10, and a .423 earned run average. Wolfie made 33 starts that year and threw 200 innings.
Well, it was the Phillies who drafted Randy Wolf out of Pepperdine University. He went in the second round in '97. Randy's from the Los Angeles area, Southern California. Victorino pulls one foul. So there are still a lot of memories there for Randy Wolf and the players he came up with. He spent 8 seasons as a Philly. Many felt his career was on the downside. It was maybe coming to an end with some of the injuries he suffered. But you got to give him credit. Randy Wolf signed a couple of one-year contracts knowing that his arm was getting stronger after surgery, and he proved himself to be worthy. Had a 1-year stop in San Diego, 1 year in Houston. Pitching on 1-year contracts, he kept putting up good numbers, and then with the Dodgers in '09 had a .323 earned run average, and most importantly, he tied for the league lead in games started that year, and that earned him a 3-year contract with the Brewers.
Back-to-back years, Randy Wolf has been able to rack up 200+ innings, and he's well on his way to doing that this year. 186 2/3 coming into tonight. Been very dependable out there in the mound.
Pitchers have numbers they try to achieve: 30 and 200. 30 starts a season and 200 innings a season, and looks like Randy Wolf's going to accomplish both this year. Matter of fact, tonight is his 30th start of the year. And now over 190 innings. And really no more discussion about his health. Victorino. Betancourt will make the catch. Shane Victorino retired. 2 gone in the inning for Randy Wolf.
Yeah, get your tickets now for Brewers on Deck, presented by Time Warner Cable. Sunday, January 29th at the Frontier Airlines Center. Purchase by September 28th to get a ticket voucher for a select Brewers home game next April. Visit Brewers.com on deck for details.
Placido Polanco with 2 away. Reached on an infield hit back in the 3rd inning. That play significant in that Jerry Hairston Jr. laid out to knock the ball down. And that saved a run from scoring. The Phillies would end up loading the bases, but Wolf would get out of it. And the Phillies came up empty in the 3rd inning. If Hairston doesn't knock it down, if he doesn't dive and keep it in his glove, it's an easy RBI for Polanco. That one is hit well to left. Polanco giving that one a look. Braun back to the wall. He leaps and it's gone. A home run. Ryan gave it a shot, but Polanco ties it up at 2 with a home run. And an unlikely source for the long ball as well, Placido Polanco.
A couple of solo home runs, Polanco and Pence, and we're back to 2s, all even. You don't expect a lot of home run power from Polanco, but every now and again he will put a charge into one. That fastball right down the middle of the plate, and Polanco gets good extension and able to knock it out of here to the Brewers bullpen to tie it up.
Just out of the reach of Braun and left. So all even at 2 now. And another 2-out run for the Phillies. 2 more runs in this game with 2 away. Certainly a home run in Philadelphia and a home run here at Miller Park.
Will it go off the top of the wall or did it bounce off of something behind the wall? Not sure.
That Now it is ripped to right. Hart cuts it off. That'll hold Pence to a single. Hunter Pence is on base all 3 times in this game so far. See if we can see where that one landed. Braun gave it a good effort.
Yep.
There's a bench back there.
Over the fence. Yeah, it was over. Didn't go off the top of the wall. There's a bench back there. Probably hit the backrest.
Number 5 for Polanco. It ties the game at 2. You look through the stat sheet, you see the Phillies scoring 44% of their runs with 2 outs, and that one's roasted foul by Mayberry. You look at that number and you kind of gloss by it, and then the game starts and you start to feel these 2-out runs from an opposition perspective. Those are the killer runs when you score with 2 away for an opposing pitcher.
And not many of them are 2 outs, nobody on home runs. I mean, you look at most clubs and you break down the runs scored. A lot of the runs are going to be 2-out runs and RBIs, but not almost half. When you look at an inning, you 2 outs. Normally, there's men on base. You get the base hit, and you're going to score a run with 2 outs, but not as many as the Phillies seem to be able to score.
In this series, 11 of the 14 runs coming with 2 outs in an inning.
You get a base hit, maybe a fly ball out, a walk, a ground out. You got second and third, and all of a sudden, you get a base hit and 2 runs around with 2 outs. Most of your base running activity occurs with 2 outs. A lot of times, most teams don't get the hits. Get the hits to drive them in.
John Mayberry was up with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the 3rd inning. Wolf struck him out. One of the key at bats in this game so far. 2 balls and a strike on Mayberry. Big cut and a miss. .76 the pitch count for Randy Wolf. Trying to retire Mayberry once again. The 2-2. Ground ball foul.
Just keeps trying to crowd him with that cut fastball. Got to be careful in there with this guy. Tall, he's got the long arms. He likes to get his arms extended. You try and pound him inside, but you better not miss. Guy's got 13 home runs and just a little over 200 at bats. Got some pop.
A legacy. His dad was a big leaguer, former All-Star, mostly with the Royals. John Mayberry Sr. Into right, pretty well hit, but Hart is there, and the side retired. Well, the Phillies tie it. Placido Polanco with a home run, all even at 2. The Brewers are coming up. Good ball game once again. 2-2. We're all tied up. Randy Wolf and Cliff Lee. And you figured it would be. The Brewers need to squeeze a win out of this series. They've dropped the first two. Milwaukee won 2 out of 3 against the Phillies in Philadelphia. Actually chased Cliff Lee from a game that they had a lead when he left, and the Brewers bullpen gave it up. As a matter of fact, that's the last blown save for John Axford this year. In mid-April. Kataris high in the air, shallow center. And Pence will make the catch for the first out. Following today's game, stay tuned to WMLW for the final out, your Milwaukee Brewers postgame show here on WMLW. It's a tough draw for Kataris. He always catches Randy Wolf. And if Randy Wolf's spot in the rotation falls against a tough left-hander, hang with him, as they say.
Cliff Lee has an opponent batting average against left-handed hitters at 205. Not much better for right-handers. 234.
Wolf gets jammed over his Polanco, and he makes a play for the out. That one got him right in on the hands. And out number 2 quickly. So back to the top of the order. Corey Hart had a hit off Lee his last time up. You see what he's done in his last 21. That includes an 18-game hitting streak in that mix. .326 average. He has 6 homers, 10 RBIs in his last 21. Doing all of that damage from the leadoff spot.
He's got 5 leadoff home runs this year and 7 for his career. So giving Ron Rennick a quick strike from time to time.
During Hart's hitting streak, which ended in St. Louis on Wednesday, he hit .359. This is the 49th game that he has been in the leadoff spot. Rennick made that move just after the All-Star break. Put Weeks in the 5-hole, moved Corey up to the leadoff spot, and Hart has thrived in that role. Hitting near 300 as a leadoff hitter. But 13 of his 24 home runs have come in the top spot in the batting order.
Yeah, seems to really thrive in either 1 or 2 in the batting order. It was a two-hole last year that Corey Hart was able to put together a great year. Has said that he just does not feel comfortable in the number 5 spot in the batting order. So if he doesn't feel comfortable, don't put him there. That's why they flip-flopped with Ricky Weeks and Corey. Got to be flexible.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Hart. 2 outs in the inning. And Corey hammers one into the gap in left center. That'll bounce off the wall. Hart on his way to second with a double. Well, he tattoos one into the gap.
That high fastball at 93. Cliff Lee continued to pound him with a fastball. Fastball, 4-seamers and cutters. And Corey apparently looking for one inner half and up. And he gets good extension. See the way he opens up those hits and drags the bat through the strike zone and hammers one into center field with 2 outs.
Second hit of the night for Hart against Lee. Has a single and now a double. And we'll see if the Brewers can come up with some 2-out run production themselves. Both of the Phillies runs with 2 outs on solo homers by Pence and Polanco. Hairston had a good cut.
And just something about that Cliff Lee fastball. He throws a lot of them that you just can't square up on. He doesn't throw all that hard. We're talking 93 tops. He's got decent movement. He'll throw a 2-seamer, the cutter. But he's gotten away with some 4-seamers down the heart of the plate tonight.
Talking to Ron Rennick before the game, he said Ricky Weeks is likely to get a start at second base tomorrow. Hairston has filled in well for Weeks. Ricky won't play the entire game. But once Weeks continues, and Ricky went through a simulated game earlier today as a hitter. They brought up Mike Fiers from the minor leagues to add him to the roster. Fiers hadn't pitched in a while, so he pitched in that simulated game. Once Weeks reestablishes himself as the everyday second baseman, you might see Hairston get a little more time in the outfield. 2 balls and a strike and a bouncer foul. Evens a 2-2 on Jerry Hairston.
And depending on whether Carlos Gomez is able to get things together at the plate, you might see Hairston in center field with left-handed pitching out there, and Niger against the right-handers. Gogo having a tough time coming back. This does not look all that comfortable at home plate.
Ron Renicky is anxious to get his full arsenal of offense back together. 2-2. Hairston lifts it to right. Pence is there, and Lee gets out of it. So a 2-out double. Stranded at second. Still tied at 2 as we go to the 6th. W is presented by American TV, American Furniture, Electronics, and Appliances. Bring it home. And by the Miller Lite Vortex Bottle. Taste greatness. Sellout crowd at Miller Park on a beautiful Saturday night. Brewers are going gold tonight. And in a good one with the Phillies, all tied at 2. Phillies had the early lead on a Pence homer. Brewers tied it in the second. Went ahead in the 4th, and then Phillies managed to square it up last inning, the 5th. Pop up, Francisco to Hairston. Easy play for the first out. Now, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Milwaukee Brewers Baseball Club. One gone for Carlos Ruiz, who is 1 out of 2 tonight. Chooch, they call him. And he lifts one in the air. Another pop-up. Rock, that's always an indication that Wolf starts to get on his game when you start to see the outs in the air.
Outs in the air, fastball is early in the count. That means a little bit sneaky. He's established, the off-speed pitch tonight. Throwing a little bit better changeup as the game is going on. He had a tough time with it early. He's been very careful using his curveball tonight. Haven't seen too many. That was really the turnaround for Wolf. Early in the season, when he started to command that fastball, throw it a lot. And not as many cutters. That was a cutter right there. more four-seamers and changeups as opposed to curveballs and cutters.
That has been the theme of this pitching staff. And you got to give a lot of credit to Rick Kranitz, the Brewer pitching coach. He is a believer in the fastball. He preaches using the fastball, sets up everything else. There's a lot of people who have that philosophy. It's one thing to believe that. It's another thing to stand on the mound and trust that your fastball's good enough.
Yep, against big league hitters and big guys can hit home runs. And Prince Fielder pointing into the dugout. Eddie Cedar wants to move Gomez around, and Gomez can't see him. Wants Gomez to scoot back a little bit and over toward right.
Well, you remember Wilson Valdez knocked one over Gomez's head back on Thursday, part of that 6-run 6th inning against Narveson. And that one's lined into left. So Wilson Valdez keeps the inning alive with 2 outs.
Yeah, curveball up. Hopefully not able to get it down with 2 strikes, and another 2-out base hit for the Phillies. 2 outs, nobody on, and it seems like these guys are it's impossible to get these guys 3 up, 3 down. Hasn't happened yet tonight.
Wolf did have a 3-batter inning in the second. Started with a single, and then he got a double play from Valdez to end the inning.
That was a curveball right there that he wanted to throw to Valdez. Got it down low, but it's not where you want it on the first pitch.
Michael Martinez, a switch hitter. Charlie Manuel has had to be flexible with his middle infielders in the absence of Chase Utley and Jimmy Rollins. Utley got good news today in Philadelphia, had his concussion test, and he came through it just fine, and everything was normal. What happens in the major leagues now, they have a process in place. All players have a baseline of testing when they're healthy, and then if there is a head injury, they go back on that baseline. They see where they are, and apparently Utley was right where he's supposed to be. So he will not rejoin the Phillies here in Milwaukee, but likely to return to the Phillies lineup in Houston or the next homestand. Matter of fact, Roger Kaplinger, the head athletic trainer for the Brewers, was the front man on that study. Martinez to right, and Hart makes the catch. Inning is over. A scoreless frame for Randy Wolf. He is through 6. We are tied at 2. To the bottom of the 6th. Cliff Lee back on the mound. It'll be Braun to lead off, and you see what Braun ranks in the National League at this point. His slugging percentage is at the top of the list. He is only behind Jose Reyes of the New York Mets batting average. Reyes started the day hitting .335. Braun at .331. He's trying to become the first Brewer in franchise history to win a batting title. They've had 3 second-place finishes in their career, or in the franchise. But Braun would be the first if he can get to the finish line with the best batting average in the National League.
It'd be hard not to say that Ryan Braun's not the MVP if he wins that batting title. I mean, that would be the clincher for me if he wins a batting title.
Braun looks like he's on his way to a 30-30 season. He is just 3 homers away from that. Has 31 steals. And he'd like to put home run number 28 on the board right here and now against Cliff Lee. Didn't agree with that call from Todd Tishner.
Big difference. 1-0 and 0-1 with Cliff Lee.
Braun singled his last time up on a curveball. That one's in there for a strike. Much like Halladay, Cliff Lee comes at you with an array of pitches that he commands.
And you got to slow him down. He likes to work quickly. And can thread the needle with that baseball. Puts it exactly where he wants to most of the time.
Well, he has one of the great comeback stories. Very similar to Halladay, as a matter of fact. Lee was struggling with the Indians. They sent him down to the minor leagues, left him off the postseason roster. And Lee took that personally, and more personally than most would take such a thing. I talked to Cliff Lee earlier this year, and I asked him about being left off that '07 Indians roster, and he said, you know, I like to think they made a mistake. I like to think we would have won the World Series had I been on that postseason team.
That's the kind of mentality that makes you a good pitcher, makes you a good athlete, period. Successful at anything, not just sports. That confidence that you know you can do it down deep.
And he strikes out Ryan Braun. The second time Braun has struck out. And one gone in the 6th inning. Lee, a rough year in '07. That was the year we're talking about. But you talk about a comeback season and a man pitching with a burr in his saddle. Cliff Lee came back with a 22-3 season, a .254 earned run average.
Yeah, look at the ERA since that year. And having perhaps his best year this year.
Up the middle, Valdez makes a play on Fielder for the second out. He goes from being left off the playoff roster. The next season he wins the Cy Young Award. And he is in the discussion to win a second Cy Young Award.
And think about the ballpark that these Philadelphia starting pitchers have to deal with. You know, half the time it's Citizens Bank Ballpark. You know, maybe one of the best hitters ballparks in baseball, but it doesn't become that when those guys are out on the mound. It changes things a bit when you have Halladay, Hamels, Roy Oswalt, Cliff Lee. Same thing with Milwaukee, considered to be a very good hitters ballpark. When you put that starting rotation out there that the Brewers have, it doesn't become such a good hitters ballpark for the opposition.
And 2 on McGee.
Your starting rotation has a lot to say about how good of an offensive ballpark you play in. And Casey McGee, I should say, doing a nice job scoring on Carlos Ruiz and knocking the ball free and driving in a run, 2nd and 3rd, and nobody out, able to get the run in.
0-2 to McGee, and he hits that one into left. Playable for Francisco. Cliff Lee, a 1-2-3 inning right through the heart of the Brewers' order in the 6th. Our Hyundai game reset. A solo homer in the first by Hunter Pence put the Phillies on the board tonight. The Brewers were able to tie it up in the second inning. Dramatic play here. Brought them to their feet. Casey McGee looked like he was dead to rights, but he knocked the ball free from Ruiz. Phillies got another homer from Polanco in the fifth after the Brewers had taken the lead on a McGee RBI groundout in the fourth. That's where we sit. 2-2 ball game, seventh inning. Cliff Lee again leading off an inning. Lee dropped a sacrifice bunt in the third. He grounded out his last time up. Took a pretty good play from Uni Betancourt in that inning. Quickly 0-2. And a tapper. Wolf will tag Lee out. Out number one. Miller Lite, what's on tap? We're back on Fox Sports Wisconsin for the remainder of the homestand. Tomorrow it is Gallardo against Vance Worley. Final game of the series, final game of the season series with the Phillies. And then the Rockies come to town Tuesday and Wednesday. The Brewers have an off day Monday and Thursday.
It'd be nice to get this starting rotation for the Phillies out of town. They are something.
Brewers were able to take 2 out of 3 in Philadelphia. They have a chance to win the season series, but they're going to have to win tonight and tomorrow to do it. A 7-game season series in all. The Cardinals still have to deal with the Phillies in Philadelphia. St. Louis will be headed there next week.
Yeah, the Cardinals' next road trip, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia.
A tour of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the Pirates have been tough on the Cardinals.
Well, Ron Renicke's crew with a magic number of 11 to eliminate the Cardinals. The Phillies' elimination number today is 9 over the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, that's a 4-game series in Philly for St. Louis.
You can put on your Phillies hat next week. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Victorino stays alive. Speaking of the Cardinals and the Braves, Atlanta has fought their way back. It is now 4-3 St. Louis. The Cardinals had a 4-0 lead at one point. Braves with 2 in the fourth. They added 1 in the fifth. St. Louis by a run. They got Jaime Garcia on the mound. Garcia getting a couple extra days of rest for the Cardinals. Victorino in the air again. That is 4 fly ball outs for Shane Victorino.
Hey, at every non-marquee home game, fans can purchase a $10 ticket in the Club Goodwill bleachers section of Miller Park. Club Goodwill tickets are sold at the ticket windows in left field. Out there by Ryan Braun.
There's the update from St. Louis. 4-3 top of the 6th. Braves are at the plate. Placido Polanco, he hit a home run that tied the game in the 5th inning. Only his 5th home run of the year. 2 hits today against Randy Wolf. Polanco has been dealing with a back injury all season. Kept him in and out of the lineup consistently as he drives one to right. A base hit. Yeah, this Philadelphia club, they are relentless with 2 outs.
Yeah, Polanco pulls a home run his last time up to left. And just punches one into right field. A tough ball player. Very good defensively. Shoots the ball around the diamond. Very tough to strike out. Randy Wolf with that fastball away, and look at Polanco get on top of it and just serve it into right field. Good at bat for Placido Polanco.
The Phillies have 6 hits and a walk with 2 outs in this game. 6 of their 9 hits. 2 of them are home runs. Continuing a theme in this series for Philadelphia. now Wolf has to deal with Hunter Pence. Pence has been at the plate with 2 outs 3 times tonight. Has 2 hits, a home run, a walk. Solo homers from Pence and Polanco, representing the 2 runs on the board for the Phillies tonight. And now it's 3-0 on Pence.
I don't think he wants much of Hunter Pence here. He really hasn't come all that close to the strike zone. Pence has checked his swing a couple of times. It appears that Wolf would just as soon face Mayberry.
And it's ball 4. So a single and a walk. And Randy Wolf will take his chances against John Mayberry.
Well, Randy over 100 pitches, and Ron Redick on his way out. With Troy Hawkins ready in that Brewers bullpen.
No call to the pen yet. You could see Renicky ask Randy how he feels. That was the first question. And it looks like Wolf is talking game plan with Kotaras, so he will stay.
Yeah, he wants to finish this inning and put himself in a position to maybe win this game.
Wolf spot in the batting order due up 4th. And Randy Wolf will continue with 2 outs in the 7th inning.
You know, it's not so much what Ron Renicky hears, it's how the pitcher says it.
Does he look him in the eye?
Yeah, I'm okay. Are you all right? Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, that's not going to get it done. Yeah, I'm okay. Let's go. That's what he wants to hear.
Well, a big hitter for Wolf. Most likely will be his last. Mayberry has been up with the bases loaded. He struck out in the 3rd. He was up with a man on in the 5th and flew out to right. 2 on, 2 out in a 2-2 game. A tapper foul, 1-1 to count on Mayberry.
Got a cutter up and in on his hands. Good pitch. Probably his game plan against Mayberry is to crowd him with the fastball.
Mayberry is a big man at 6'6", but he has a batting stance like a little guy. He gets in a big crouch, and it's that crouch, this change of style at the plate, that has turned him into a good hitter this year. He went down to AAA. He's been up and down with the Phillies on 3 occasions this season. But the last time he went back to AAA, he made some adjustments in his batting stance. Got a little lower, got on the same eye level. Usually big guys like this, and he is 6'6". They stand up tall in the box.
Yeah. It just gives himself a little bit more balance, better opportunity to get that bat in a hitting position. A big pitch here.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Sellout crowd trying to help him through it. 2 on, 2 out in a 2-2 game. And that one's in the air. Playable. Back is Hairston. He wants it. And Randy Wolf is through 7. What a job tonight. Randy Wolf giving himself a chance at a win. See if the Brewers can get a run on the board. Stretch time in Milwaukee. Brewers are coming up. For Randy Wolf to retire John Mayberry. Started with that cut fastball, and Rocky, he stayed up in the strike zone to the big hitter.
Well, he didn't want to mess around on the outer half of the plate. He made a mistake right there on the cutter, and finally able to get him on a four-seamer up around the letters. So did not want to throw anything off speed out away from Mayberry to allow him to get his arms extended.
2-2 game, bottom of the seventh. Lee back on the mound. Betancourt at the plate. Uni had an RBI in the second inning. That was that collision at home plate. McGee knocking the ball free from Ruiz. That was an unearned run against Lee. Lee gave up an earned run in the fourth. Randy Wolf through 7 innings. And will it be his last? His spot in the batting order due up fourth. And you know, Renicky would love the opportunity to pinch hit for him. That means at least somebody's on base. Betancourt just hanging in there.
I don't think he's going to come out for another inning. You got Saito getting, it's actually K-Rod getting loose in that bullpen out there from Milwaukee. I would imagine it's going to be K-Rod in the 8th.
Oh, 2 on Betancourt. And a little tapper foul. Lee staying away from him.
One of those situations where Ron Rennie, you get 7 good innings out of your starter. A quality start, 2 runs in 7 innings, and you go to your 8th inning guy and perhaps John Axford in a tie in the 9th. Got to get this one tonight.
Brewers looking for their first win of the series, trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. Betancourt has seen a lot of Cliff Lee, has the most career at-bats against Lee among the Brewers. Not a whole lot of success against him. Pop up, and that will bounce into the seats. Good effort there by Ruiz. That hit for Betancourt in the second inning, only his 5th career hit. He's now 5 for 24 against him, but he does have a home run against Cliff Lee. Trying to start the 7th. Another one off the end of the bat. He's hanging tough.
That Lee gave him a change up. He's thrown just about everything the kitchen sink up there to Betancourt, and he's been able to foul everything off.
He'll see at least 8 pitches. Uni 1 out of 2. Lee struck him out last time up. And he gets him again on the same pitch. 7 strikeouts for Cliff Lee. 1 gone in the 7th.
Yep, elevated the fastball, and just like his last time up, Uni just not able to hold up on it. It looks good, but tough to hit.
Now Carlos Gomez. Gomez is 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout. You hear the crowd rumbling. Ricky Weeks has grabbed a bat and has moved into the on-deck circle. And we're soon to see our first Ricky Weeks appearance since late July. Gomez down the right field line. That is a foul ball. Just missed it. Would have been extra bases for the speedy Gomez.
Yeah, double, maybe triple. Just about a foot foul. That would have been a thing of beauty for Gomez.
Got to be some nerves for Ricky Weeks. Been anxiously awaiting his return. And it'll happen next. 0-2 on Gomez.
He was right on that fastball up. Gomez loves the ball in on him.
And a couple of guys who have missed a lot of time, Gomez and Weeks. As Gomez into left field, a base hit. Carlos Gomez comes up with his first hit since he had one in the first half at the end before he went on the DL. And now the crowd on its feet as they welcome Ricky Weeks back.
Catcher George Gutierrez, number 23, Ricky Weeks.
Ricky Weeks returns 39 games out of the lineup, and he takes a strike from Lee.
It's got to be hard for Ricky Weeks just to control his emotions. You know he's got to be jacked out of his skin right now.
Severe left ankle sprain on the 27th of July. It's been a long road back for him. There was some question whether he would return at all. But here he is in a big spot. Gomez is a base stealer. You wonder how aggressive Renicky will be on the bases. Lee has a good move. And a slow delivery to the plate, while Ruiz is a terrific throwing catcher behind the plate. One out. And Weeks takes one down and in. Let's take you back. Ricky Weeks against the Cubs. This was on the 27th, and it was a double clutch by Castro as Weeks rolled his ankle, and it looked at that moment like his season was over. Just a severe snap on that ankle. Nothing broken there. There's a strike throw to first. Gomez back.
Yeah, one thing about Gomez, I mean, you go on first move, you got a little bit of inexperience at first base over there with Mayberry. It's going to take two good throws to get you, and you know how well Gomez can run. So you get yourself a big lead. You're going to first pitch, and you gamble that they can't get you if they throw over.
Couple of all-stars matching up here. Lee and Weeks. 2-2 game, bottom of the 7th. There goes Gomez. Ricky takes a ball. The throw to second is dropped. Safe at second. Gomez. He knocked the ball right out of Martinez's glove.
He might have been safe anyway, but at the point is moot because Martinez not able to hold on. Well, Martinez, Gomez, and the ball all got there at the same time. Yeah, he was out. If he holds on to it, he's out. But credit Gomez with a stolen base. Boy, what a throw by Carlos Ruiz. That was right on the money.
Two costly mistakes by Martinez. One of them led to a run. And now will the Brewers take advantage of this mistake? It was Martinez who committed an error in the second inning and allowed McGee to second base, and then Betancourt drove him in. That was an unearned run against Lee in the second. No error here, but looked like a sure out. Popping out of the glove of Martinez. Now Weeks with a base hit can give the Brewers the lead. 2-2. Down and in. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, Ricky's watched every one of the 5 pitches so far and trying to get a good eye on it.
Inside, ball 4. What an at-bat for a comeback. So Ricky Weeks is aboard. He'll have a pinch runner. Josh Wilson will come off the bench. Welcome back, Ricky.
Boy, that can't be easy what Ricky just did. After all that time off, you go up there and you have that good of an eye at the plate. And just not running the way he normally does. So you got Josh over there at first base. But what an at bat. What a comeback for him. Not often you say that with a walk, but he took some pretty close pitches.
And when you're matching up with Cliff Lee, that is a victory. So 2 on with 1 away. Now runner in scoring position as the go-ahead run. Then you have a runner at first for a little insurance. Jonathan Lucroy will pinch hit. And Lucroy takes a strike. First at bat for Lucroy. He'll likely stay in the catch. How about that? 2 at bats as a hit, and it was a homer. All tied at 2.
Not going to take much to get Gomez to home plate.
Lucroy to left. That ball's well hit. Back is Francisco at the wall. He's got it. Gomez will tag, and he'll make it without a throw.
Oh, man, just missed it. My goodness.
Sent Francisco to the wall for the second out.
Man, just down on the trademark a little bit and nearly hit a 3-run homer. Boy, just missed that one. That would have been something.
First and third against Lee with 2 gone. Oh, it sounded good. Had the home run arc. Just not enough behind it. And Lee with 2 outs now. Back to the top of the order. Corey Hart, who has 2 hits off Cliff Lee tonight. 2 of the 6 Brewer hits. Brewers need a big hit. They've been waiting for one all series. Starts him with a curveball. With his 2 hits tonight, Hart batting .282 for the season. There's a single and a double against Lee. Big cut and a miss. 1-1. Brewers with a hit and a walk in this inning. Gomez singled and stole second. Josh Wilson, the pinch runner for Weeks. Cliff Lee coming off a complete game his last time out. Was stellar against the Atlanta Braves. Pitched a shutout last time out. His 6th complete game. Hart into center. Back is Victorino right there. He's got it. And the Brewers come up empty in the 7th. So Lee strands a pair, still tied at 2. Still tied at 2. Got a thriller going at Miller Park on a Saturday night. The Brewers stranding a pair in the 7th inning. Corey Hart whistles one into center field, but hit it right at Victorino. Feltko call to the pen. It's going to be Francisco Rodriguez. K-Rod will have the 8th. Randy Wolf 7 strong, just 2 earned runs tonight.
Yeah, tossed a perfect inning last night against these Phillies. Has not allowed a run in his last 7 appearances. And since joining the Brewers in 22 games, a 3-0 record and a .266 earned run average. K-Rod in the 8th, get a run, and Axford in the 9th, and let's go home happy.
Jonathan Lucroy will stay in to catch after a narrow miss. Missed a home run by an inch on the bat, you would think.
And a line drive bullet off the bat of Corey Hart right at Victorino. That's the way it goes sometimes. It's like the way the Brewers are battling and swinging the bats tonight.
Raul Ibanez coming off the bench to hit. Hitting for Francisco, and he'll likely stay in to play left field. And a breaking ball. They'll ask if he went. Able to check his swing. Ball and a strike on Ibanez, who started last night. Had 2 hits. He drove in a run. 2 for 5 last night. One ball, 1 strike. That one's in there. Spinner. And it's 1-2 for K-Rod.
And a breaking ball from K-Rod looks as though it just stops in midair and then just drops. It's got a very quick break to it. Brad Lidge out in that Phillies pen.
Cliff Lee just over 100 pitches. Perhaps his spot in the batting order would come up in this inning. Swing and a miss. K-Rod lives up to his nickname. Strikes out Ibanez. No rock. Randy Wolf tonight gave the Brewers exactly what they needed.
Yeah, really didn't have his good changeup tonight, but was very effective with his fastball. Kept the curveballs down. Only struck out 1 tonight. And didn't need the big strikeout totals, but got some big outs when he needed them. And the Phillies had men on base in every inning, but only were able to pick up 1 base hit with a man in scoring position tonight.
7 strong for Randy Wolf. Will not factor in the decision tonight, as K-Rod deals strike 1 to Ruiz. Ruiz had a good cut down on the count. 0-2. Now for the Brewers in the bottom of the 8th inning, Jerry Hairston will lead off, and then you've got Braun and Fielder. And K-Rod hoping to send it to the home 8th in a 2-2 tie. 0-2 on Carlos Ruiz. Frankie Rodriguez had 23 saves for the Mets prior to that trade. He was actually traded immediately after the All-Star game. The Brewers were able to pick up K-Rod a couple of weeks before the trade deadline. 3 weeks before the trade deadline, to be exact. He is one of the great closers in the game. Has accepted the 8th inning role with the Brewers. He will resume his closer's duties next year. He is going to be a highly touted free agent at season's end.
Yeah, somebody's going to use him as a closer. There's no doubt about that. And he does not want to be a setup man forever.
But he is happy to be in that role with this club this year. He's fit in very well. There's a ground ball to third. Nice play, McGee. And he gets his man. Casey showing the good hands at third base.
A nice game tonight. Casey McGee on both sides of the game. Defense, offense. Scored a run, driven in a run. A little bit off the end of the bat for Ruiz, but Casey able to handle it on the backhand on the one hop. Good soft hands, and knew he had some time with the catcher running to first.
Two gone for Rodriguez. Here's Wilson Valdez. The Phillies have not been retired in order all night tonight. A lot of their damage coming with two away. K-Rod would like to put it away here and then stay away as best as you can from the middle of that Phillies order. Valdez batting out of the 7 spot in the batting order. There is a way to the end of this game without having to face Hunter Pence again, which is what you're trying to avoid. Doesn't mean you won't see Ryan Howard, however. Big bat on the bench tonight for Charlie Manuel. At some point, Frankie Rodriguez will return in a closer's role. He is just 9 saves away from 300 career saves, sitting on 291 career saves at this point. Historically good closer, giving the Brewers one of the strongest bullpens of all the contenders. K-Rod walks Valdez.
And especially when the starting pitching can go 7 innings. So you go K-Rod and Axford, and that has been a pretty good formula for the Brewers this year to win games. Axford hasn't been in a game in a while. He's dying to get in there in a save situation. I would imagine he's going to pitch the 9th regardless of whether it's a tie or the Brewers are ahead. He probably won't pitch the 9th if the Brewers fall behind in this inning.
Charlie Manuel's going to go to Pete Orr. With Chase Utley out, Orr and Martinez a second base platoon, even though Martinez is a switch hitter. Manuel likes Orr from the left side.
A lot of left-handers on the bench for Charlie Manuel because of the starter Randy Wolf going tonight. You got Orr, you got Howard, Ross Glode, John Bowker. You've got Jimmy Rollins, a switch hitter. Not sure whether he's going to be able to get into a game or not, but he's on the bench.
And Manuel's already used Ibanez to pinch hit in this inning. So here is Orr with a runner at first. 2 outs in the inning. Yesterday, Orr was the starter at second base, had 3 hits. He was 3 for 4, all singles. Ross Glode, who had a walk-off hit for the Phillies on Wednesday against the Atlanta Braves, sealing up that sweep of Atlanta.
K-Rod's got to keep an eye out there on Valdez.
That was the pitch to run on, that slow breaking ball.
You don't have to be quick to home plate, to hold runners. Do different things. Hold the baseball, freeze, you step off. Just let them know you're keeping an eye on them.
There he goes. And Lucroy can't find the handle. Pitch in the dirt. Stolen base. And it looks like Valdez is hurt. Valdez comes up grabbing his hamstring.
Nobody going out there. Athletic trainer just staying in the dugout.
I don't know.
There he goes.
He's going to be able to return. Looks like you don't know if it's a hamstring or if it's cramping. The fact that he's trying to walk it off, it leads you to believe his legs are cramping a little bit. Yeah, he was grabbing his hamstring as he was sliding.
Yeah.
Valdez has been the primary backup for Jimmy Rollins, who's been out with a groin injury. Rollins is on the active roster now, but probably won't see him unless it's an emergency, or at least maybe an at-bat here or there. Looks like Valdez is going to try to stay, so obviously it's a cramp and not a hamstring injury.
Slow him down maybe, but a 2-1 count on Pete Orr, a guy that had 3 hits in last night's game.
Not a given that he'll score on a base hit. 2-1 the count. Go ahead run at second base. And Rodriguez misses away. 3-1. Missed away. K-Rod wanted the call, didn't get it. Back-to-back walks. And the Phillies put up a threat here with 2 away.
Yeah, breaking ball on a 3-1 count. Tried to backdoor it. And pretty close. Looks like it might have had the corner, but not called.
Rick Kranitz on his way out. So Charlie Manuel is going to go with his best pinch hitter, Ross Gload. And a scouting report from Kranitz. Gload still flying high after a big moment at Citizens Bank Park off Peter Moylan. It was Gload who sent one down the line to win the game for the Philadelphia Phillies. An extra inning victory for Philadelphia on Wednesday, capping off a 4-game sweep of their division rival, the Atlanta Braves.
Well, an imposition here. Now, this inning started once again, 2 outs, nobody on. This is the way the Phillies score runs.
Back-to-back walks. Ross Gload leads the major leagues with 17 pinch hits. And he takes a strike from K-Rod. Phillies have this great starting rotation, and a terrific lineup, and the best pinch hitter in the major leagues as well, in Ross Gload. An embarrassment of riches for the Phillies this season.
And a nice block by Jonathan. Got a piece of him again. Well, first inning behind home plate, and Lucroy's already got stung by one on a ball in the dirt. A good block, keeping the base runners at first and second.
All tied at 2 in the 8th. Rodriguez got the first 2 out quickly. Got a strikeout and a ground out. 2 walks. And now in trouble here in the 8th. As Gload swings and misses. Pulled the string on him, his money pitch.
That's a beauty. Yeah, the fastball, the breaking ball, and he got the equalizer, the changeup. Another one of those down there. And that might do it.
In the air, shallow left. Braun's got a long way to go, and that one will slice foul. In a dangerous spot, no man's land out there in left field. Brewers fortunate that goes foul.
And Brawny really charging hard down the line. He was giving it his all, but very fortunate for the Brewers that that one landed in foul territory, not by much.
Another big at bat. Randy Wolf was able to pitch out of a few jams tonight. And now K-Rod has one behind him. 2 on, 2 out. A ball and 2 strikes on Ross Gallo coming off the bench. He got him. Rodriguez strikes him out. Inning over. And we are still tied at 2. And the muscle is coming up. Braun and Fielder will bat. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Phillies and the Brewers in the 3rd game of this 4-game series. Hunter Pence with a solo homer to start the scoring for Philadelphia. That was in the 1st inning. Brewers were able to tie it up. It was an RBI single by Uni Betancourt. Casey McGee dislodging the ball from Ruiz. That was in the 2nd. It was McGee again with the infield back. A ground ball out, but it produced a run. The Brewers took the lead. Placido Polanco with a solo home run with 2 outs in the 5th to tie it. Our Usingers game summary, all tied at 2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Cliff Lee is out, and this gauntlet of starting pitching against the former Cy Young Award winners. Chris Carpenter went the distance on Wednesday. Halladay yesterday goes 8, picked up the win. Tonight Cliff Lee 7 innings and a no decision for Cliff Lee.
And you sandwich in there Cole Hamels, who's not a bad pitcher either. So that gauntlet is done, and hopefully the Brewers are going to be able to get a win tonight. Now Brad Lidge only his 17th game so far this year. Pretty good numbers though in his small sample size, as Ibanez takes over in left and Pete Orr stays in the game at second base.
K-Rod gets through the 8th inning, stranding a pair. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts for Francisco Rodriguez. Jerry Hairston will lead off, to be followed by Braun, then Fielder.
Did you hear that sigh of relief coming out of that Brewers dugout?
Enough is enough with some of the game's best pitchers.
Boy, 4 straight. Talking about root canal, huh?
Put it this way, if there was a league higher than the major leagues, those 3 would be in that league.
Yeah. And the other guy.
Oh yeah, the other guy's not so bad either, Cole Hamels. He can't even make the list because he doesn't have a Cy Young Award.
Not yet. Not yet.
Hairston off the end of the bat. Back is Valdez. makes a catch, and he's still having a little trouble with his leg. One gone, Hairston retired, and Lidge will face Ryan Braun. Lidge has had some shoulder trouble this year. They put him on the disabled list in March. He's trying to pitch his way through it in spring training, but went on the DL in March, didn't come back from the disabled list until the 3rd week of July. 16 games. This is number 17 for Lidge. But since he has come back, he's been good. 14 of his 16 games at this point have been scoreless. Didn't make his season debut until the 25th of July this year. And no longer the closer with the Phillies. Ryan Madsen has taken on those duties.
Yeah, this guy, Lidge, in his heyday, about as unhittable as it gets with that fastball, 98, an electric slider, but it's not the velocity that he used to have. And because he didn't throw as hard, slider not as effective.
Lidge had such a run through the early part of the decade. Earned the nickname Lights Out Lidge. Had a 42 save season with the Astros. He went to Philadelphia and flourished as a Philly closer. And was on the mound, got the final out for their World Series championship. Braun in the gap, right center. That's going to get down. That's going to go to the wall. And it bounces up and off the back wall, which means a ground rule double. And that's actually a bad break for the Brewers.
You never know. That ball took a funny hop off of the wall. Brawny might have been able to get to third base. And what an at bat. I mean, the base hit off of Cliff Lee on a curveball in the left his second time up. And now a slider from Lidge. Down and away, and look at a beautiful swing. He goes down and gets it. You can see the dot on that baseball. That means slider. That's what a hitter looks for. You can see that dot. You know it's going to break away from you. And Brawny able to hammer it into the gap out there in right center. What a hitter.
If it stays in, if it bounces off the blue wall, not the back wall, it is a triple most likely for Braun. The Phillies certainly would have still walked fielder. But a runner at third and one out is a lot different than a runner at second and one out. As fielder draws the intentional walk, he leads the league in that category. And here comes Casey McGee, who's having a great night, both offensively and with the glove and on the bases. Casey scored the first run. Victorino fired a strike to Ruiz, but Casey knocked the ball free.
Yep, payback from last night, and Casey able to drive in a run. Second and third, nobody out. That RBI came in the fourth. And nice backhand plays. Played some good defense as well.
So here's McGee, a spot where he flourished a year ago, batting fifth. And Lidge starts into the breaking ball strike. John Axford will most likely see him regardless of the score, but the Brewers would love to put a run on the board, take the lead, and turn it over to their closer in a save situation. Casey McGee in a big spot. One away, two on. And a fastball missed.
There's that fastball, 90. I mean, he used to throw 98. 8 miles an hour, big difference.
McGee with a runner in scoring position. His batting average about 30 points higher with a runner in scoring position this year. Two balls and a strike. Last year, Casey McGee led the club in RBIs. He drove in 104. And did a lot of damage in spots just like this. An intentional walk to fielder, and McGee batting with a ton of base runners. Cashed in more often than not. Had him out in front. 2-2 the count on McGee.
Yep, slider, 2 fastballs, and went right back to the slider to even the count.
Betancourt is on deck. Go ahead run at second. Broad has great speed. He should score on a base hit. And the 2-2 down in the dirt. Good block by Ruiz. Full count. And now this sellout crowd sensing a moment here.
Do you send the base runners? Do you have Ryan take off on the pitch? 3-2.
Runners stay put. McGee down on strikes. A called strike 3 on Casey McGee. And there is a big out for Brad Lidge, out number 2.
That game, the slider was right down the middle, and it fooled McGee. And no question it was a strike. Casey tried to hold up. I think it was a called strike anyway. That's a good pitch. See the home plate umpire Todd Tischer looking at the bat anyway. I think it was a good pitch regardless.
2 gone. The Brewers had 2 on last inning with 1 out, could not score. 2 on with 1 out here, and now it's Betancourt to try to unlock it at 2 as he takes a strike.
That's an 82-mile-an-hour slider. I mean, what a difference in Lidge now, and as opposed to what he used to be.
That slider used to be in the upper 80s, and a fastball in the upper 90s. But he's still making it work. Betancourt with an RBI single in the second. He's 1 for 3. And it's 0-2. On the ground to third, and to the bag goes Polanco, and the Brewers let another one go by. 2 on, 1 out. They cannot score. Still tied at 2. Still knotted at 2 as we go to the 9th inning, and the Axeman is coming on to pitch. John Axford, the Brewers closer, will pitch the 9th. One of the luxuries a manager has at home. You're able to bring your closer on in a tie ball game, and Axford will try to get the Brewers to the bottom of the 9th. Still tied at 2.
Yeah, you might see him throw 2 innings tonight. Who knows? The Brewers not able to score in the 9th. The Axeman, it's been a while for him. Well, it's been an awful long time in that bullpen. Last pitched on Monday against the Cardinals and got his 41st save of the year with a perfect 9th inning.
Axford will have the top of the order. Shane Victorino, Placido Polanco, then Hunter Pence. The Cardinals leading the Braves 4-3. They're in the top of the 9th. Braves down to their last 3 outs. Maybe the Braves can do to the Cardinals what the Cardinals did last night to Atlanta. St. Louis had a 4-0 lead in that game at one point. Right now the Brewers are 7 up on St. Louis, just 6 up in the loss column. You always worry about command with a pitcher who hasn't pitched in a while, especially a closer who pitches late in a game in pressure situations. You wonder how his command will be tonight.
And he's had 4 days off between appearances, Monday and tonight. That's a long time.
This is only Axford's 3rd appearance since the 28th of August. So his outings have been few and far between. Just 1 appearance last week. Monday in St. Louis. 2 balls and a strike on Victorino. 3-1 to count. And the last guy you want to put on base. Phillies don't run a lot, especially with the current roster, but Victorino is a guy who will try to steal a base on you. Michael Stutz in the Philly bullpen. Victorino in the air again. About an 0 for 5 for Shane Victorino, and every out in the air tonight.
Yeah, that's unusual for him. Well, you get the outside way you can get him against Victorino, who's been tough against the Brewers in his career.
Cardinals have sealed it up. St. Louis wins again, 4-3 the final score.
Yeah, Atlanta had a man at 3rd with 2 outs in that 9th inning. Couldn't score him.
So the Brewers need a win to stay 7 games up on St. Louis.
Brewers really shouldn't worry too much about what the Cardinals are doing. They just need to win games on their own. They don't need any help. Just win. That's all it takes.
Brewers have 16 games remaining, including this one. Phillies' magic number just dropped by 1, down to 8 with that Braves loss. One ball and a strike on Placido Polanco. Good breaking ball from Axford. 1-2. Polanco hit a game-tying home run in the 5th. He's the reason we're still knotted at 2. Brewers have had big chances in the last 2 innings, but the Phillies have left 9 on tonight. Got in on his hands, right to Betancourt. 2 gone. That couldn't have felt good. That was a label buster.
Yeah, jam sandwich when Axford's got you on the inside corner. A little knuckleball out in Betancourt, and he's able to handle it and get the out. It was the toughest out of the game right here. coming up.
Pence has not been retired. A homer, a single. He's walked twice. The way the innings were shaping up in the third and the seventh, it looked like Wolf was pitching around Pence. He didn't intentionally walk him, but he didn't exactly challenge him either. And Randy Wolf was able to get out of both innings, retiring John Mayberry. Pence slaps one to right. Man, this guy can hit.
Either real hot or real cold, and right now he is red hot. Batting average at .312 now. He slashes that one into right. Base hit to right a couple of at-bats ago. And he gets the curveball from John Axford up in the zone and just drives it into right field. Corey Hart playing deep in right. Give up the single, not the extra base hit.
That is his 6th hit of the series. And now Charlie Manuel is going to take his chance right here with Ryan Howard. Howard will pinch hit. Last night he got the start, his only start of the series so far, and in the first inning, after a day of rest, Ryan Howard took Sean Markham deep.
Fastball, he's ahead in the count. Markham made a mistake and made him pay. That's all that Roy Halladay would need.
32nd home run of the year for Howard. He is now at the top of the National League RBI total once again, has 111 driven in. And what a matchup. Axford against Howard. Brewers put a big shift on for Howard, as most teams do. Got 3 infielders on the right side.
Now this is the 5th inning in a row where the Phillies have started an inning with 2 outs and nobody on, and the Brewers have yet to have a 3-up, 3-down inning. It's unbelievable the way these guys battle up there at the plate.
Howard does a lot of damage, but he strikes out a lot as well, and you got a strikeout pitcher on the mound. There's a good hook.
We're looking for that on a 1-0 pitch. Curveball.
Axford's curveball normally in the low 80s. That one registered 77, so it took a little more off than normal.
Just to get me over. Didn't have to be good because you knew Howard wasn't going to swing at it.
Strike called inside corner. Got a fastball in there, and it's 1-2 on Ryan Howard.
Yep, slow curve at 77, then he comes in on him at 94.
All tied at 2. Ryan Howard against John Axford here in the 9th. 2 outs. Very similar pitch to what Francisco Rodriguez threw last inning, didn't get the call. Now it's 2-2. And it hits his bat. Foul ball. Outstage at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yep, doubled up on the curveball. Say, if you're not going to give it to me on the corner, I'm going to throw it again and at least hit his bat. Boy, a tough pitch to take with 2, but did not get the call. The pitch before the last one.
Brewers are at the bottom of their batting order, coming up in the bottom of the 9th. Can Axford get him there in a 2-2 tie? He went. Down he goes. John Axford strikes out Howard. To the bottom of the 9th, all tied at 2.
There was only one fastball in the sequence. It's right here after the curveball at 77. 94 on the inside corner. And he tries to get him to chase the curveball. Ryan Howard, no intention of swinging at a curveball. That should have been a strike, and it was. Well, good job by Axford, and Ryan Howard did not swing the bat that entire plate appearance except for that half swing.
So Howard will stay in the game and play first base, and the new Philly pitcher is Michael Stutz. They had Matson warming up, but the game stays tied. Stutz, his 51st appearance. He's done a nice job out of the Philly pen.
Yes, he has. He's allowed runs in 11 of his last 27 appearances, but he's 4-1 in his last 27 games, and a 4.78. So lately he's been giving up some runs. Brewers just need one tonight.
And the tees are up for Nigel Morgan. He will pinch hit for Carlos Gomez. Brewers are at the bottom of their order. 7, 8, 9 against Stutz here in the bottom of the ninth. All tied at 2. And that one skips by. Actually hit the umpire, Todd Tishner. After Morgan was ejected in St. Louis, he arrived back in Milwaukee and changed his name from Tony Plush to Tony Hush. Been keeping quiet this week. He fouls it back. So it looks like Renick's going to stack some lefties here. Morgan leads off. Katse due to hit next. Taylor Green available on the bench. Lucroy occupies the 9th spot, so he's due up 3rd. Stutz in on the hands, and it's a ball and 2 strikes on Nigel Morgan.
He's got a good slider. That's his best pitch. Average fastball, slider. And he'll throw a curveball from time to time. Basically a 2-pitch pitcher, sinker, slider.
Morgan, left center. Victorino will run it down for the first out. And with nobody on, Renick's going to make a change here. He had Katse ready to hit, but going to go with a little more thump. And Taylor Green will come off the bench. So it's going to be Green instead of Katse. Green had 22 home runs at AAA Nashville. And you can think along with the manager here. He's looking at one shot to maybe end this one.
And he has been swinging the bat well. 4 for 4, not too bad as a pinch hitter, wouldn't you say?
Overall, Green is 8 for 19. Made 3 starts for Milwaukee. So he bats with 1 out. And a strike from Stutz.
Yeah, still 4 players left on Ron Renick's bench. Maldonado, the other catcher. You got Logan Schaefer, Katse, and Counsell on the bench.
Hawkins will have the 10th if we get there. K-Rod and Axford. Scoreless innings, the 8th and the 9th. Taylor Green, rookie infielder. And a swing and a miss. Ball and 2 strikes. Brewers had 2 men on with 1 out in the 7th and the 8th and could not score. Cliff Lee got out of the 7th. Brad Lidge escaped the 8th.
No effect of the long layoff for Axford. He was great.
What a spot for Taylor Green to be in. He said he was shocked when he got the call up to the big leagues. They brought him in the office. They told him he had failed a drug test. And then they let him off the hook and said, just kidding, you're headed to Milwaukee. You're going to the big leagues.
That was Don money.
2-2. And Green pulls one. What a play by Howard to the bag for the out.
Yep, playing the line, protecting against the extra base hit, and Ryan Howard able to snare it. The only way you grab that is you're guarding the line, playing no doubles. Watch how close to the line he is. There he is. He just has to fall down and grab it. So playing no doubles sometimes doesn't work, but it worked there.
And Howard just in the game defensively makes a nice play for the second out. Tough luck for Green. 2 gone. Here is Lucroy. And a strike from Michael Stutz. Lucroy narrowly missed a home run in the 7th. When it left the bat, it looked like a 3-run home run to give the Brewers the lead. It was caught at the wall in left field. Cliff Lee would then retire Corey Hart on a line drive out to end the inning. In there for a strike. Stutz, a rookie, made his major league debut earlier this year in April. In a 2-2 game, the 1-2 pitch down and away, 2-2. Top of the order next. If Lucroy can reach, Corey Hart will bat. And we head to extra innings. So the Philly bullpen getting the job done tonight. To the 10th we go, all tied at 2. Go to the 10th, it'll be LaTroy Hawkins. First up in extra innings for the Brewers, K-Rod and John Axford doing a good job out of the bullpen. The Phillies getting good work out of the pen as well with Brad Lidge and Michael Stutz.
Well, LaTroy Hawkins looking for the first 3 up, 3 down against the Phillies for the Brewers tonight. 47th appearance for LaTroy. Tossed a scoreless 8th inning on Wednesday against the Cardinals. His first appearance in this series against Philadelphia.
Nigel Morgan will stay in the game to play center field. And Hawkins will face Raul Ibanez to start the 10th. Ibanez with his second plate appearance. He pinch hit back in the 8th inning and struck out against Rodriguez. The Cardinals have already won tonight. They beat the Braves. Final of 4-3. Jaime Garcia picked up the win. He beat Derek Lowe. Lowe continues to struggle. Jason Mott with a save. Ibanez rips one to right. Hart unable to, as he keeps it in front. Ibanez going to try it. Throw to second is late. Once Ibanez saw Corey go down on a slide, he was on his way, and it's a lead-off double for the Phillies in the 10th.
Yeah, not a good start. Ibanez smokes that one down the line, and if Corey's able to come up with it cleanly the first time, it's going to keep Ibanez at first base. You see Prince, he's guarding the line, playing no doubles. Had he been playing in a normal position, he would have been able to get it, but Ibanez is able to rake it in the hole, and he gets his double anyway.
Ruiz up there to bunt, and he gets a bunt down. It's a good one. Hawkins got to hurry now and throws it away. You could see it coming. Ibanez will score. Ruiz to second. Phillies have grabbed the lead here in the 10th inning as Hawkins got lost in the shuffle.
Well, Casey McGee went back to third base thinking that Hawkins was going to take it. Hawkins hesitated and airmailed one over the head and into the seats. Great bunt by Ruiz. And an ill-advised throw, not going to get him anyway. That ball ends up in the seats.
Costly error. And as hard as runs have been to come by tonight, that one was as easy as it gets for the Phillies. And they lead 3-2. Jimmy Rollins will pinch hit for Philadelphia.
Apparently the leg of Valdez not doing very well because Rollins forced into the game. And he's the only infielder left. You got a catcher and an outfielder still on the bench.
Valdez stole a base in the 8th inning and was clutching at his hamstring. Looked like he was cramping in that hamstring. We saw it show up defensively last inning, and now Charlie Manuel will go ahead and make the change here with Rollins. Said he would use Rollins in an emergency, and this is what he meant, down to his last infielder. By the way, they score Ruiz's bunt as a single, a bunt single, and an E1 that allows the run to score. On the ground, Betancourt makes a play, throw to first in time. Man, oh man, what a play that was.
Well, healthy Jimmy Rollins is not going to get thrown out on that. Obviously not running all that well, and Betancourt making a heck of a play. I thought maybe he might try for Ruiz at third base. Ruiz, the catcher, not running all that well, and instead he goes to first. That would have been nice to be able to get Ruiz, cut him down at third.
A great play to get one out. Runner at third. The infield is in for the Brewers. Here is Pete Orr. Certainly don't want to go down any more than one. 3-2 Phillies. Scoring on an error by Hawkins. And a bouncing ball. Hairston's got it. He'll look the runner back. And there is out number 2. That's a big out. Looked like Hawkins actually got a piece of that baseball. So 2 gone. Infield can back up into normal depth. John Bowker will come off the bench. Brewers will have the top of the order coming up in the bottom of the 10th. Bowker just 19 at bats this season. He is 4 for 19 at the plate. Even with expanded rosters, managers can get to the end of their roster and their bench.
Yeah, 1 left for Charlie Manuel. That's his other catcher. Brewers have 4 left.
Bowker has spent most of the year in AAA with the Pirates organization. Phillies got him in late August from the Pirates. 0-2 the count. Got a runner at third, 2 away. Count stays at 0-2. Philadelphia's closer, Ryan Matson, getting ready for a save opportunity. Brewers saw him last night. Matson at the final 3 outs. He came into the game after 2 were aboard.
End the inning right here without that run scoring at third base. You have yourself a pretty good chance with the top of the order coming up from Milwaukee. It's got to get the out here.
Hawkins, the 4th pitcher used tonight. Randy Wolf started, went 7 innings, 2 runs. He pitched well. K-Rod, then Axford, now Hawkins. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away. Phillies have taken the lead here in the 10th inning. And it is 3-2 now.
He's the guy you want right here. You don't want to deal with Victorino. He's due. 0 for 5 tonight. 1 for 5 last night. He got a hit his first time up last night, so you don't want to see that guy.
Full count, 2 outs. Got him. Hawkins strikes him out. A costly error leads to a run. Now the Brewers need 1 to tie, 2 to win. 43,000 on hand tonight. And the Phillies have taken the lead 3-2. With a miscommunication on a bunt play and an error by Hawkins gives the Phillies the 3-2 lead. We go to the bottom of the 10th inning, and now Charlie Manuel will bring on his closer, Ryan Madson, who saved the game last night, his 29th save of the season.
Yeah, he came in with 2 outs and nobody on, and gave up a couple of runs, a base hit, a sac fly, but was able to end the inning for Philadelphia. 29 out of 31 for Madson. He's got a good fastball. His best pitch is his changeup.
Rollins will stay into play short. And it's going to be Corey Hart to lead off. With every save, Madson adds to his career high. Never had more than 10 saves in a season until this year. Phillies had always been a little hesitant to hand over the save duties to Ryan Madson, but this year has been a different story. He's 30 years of age.
Well, he's had to. Really, Contreras got hurt. Brad Lidge is not a closer any longer. He got that fastball. I'm sorry, the changeup. That was a changeup right there.
That's his bread and butter, the changeup. Madson's got one of the best. Corey Hart down on the count, 0-2. And a fastball that missed. Mark Kotsay will hit next. Will hit for Hairston. Hart would love to give him a chance to win it. Ooh, didn't miss by much. 2-2 the count. Corey with 2 hits tonight. He's 2 for 4. And he lays off. And the count goes full, 3-2.
Tough pitch to lay off of. That was a changeup. Got to get a base runner any way on.
Hart has worked it full, 3-2. There's one foul, another changeup. Madson had been one of the best setup men in the National League, setting up for Brad Lidge. In that setup role last year, was taking the reins as the closer. Brewers did get a hit and an RBI off him last night. And he walked him. Corey Hart is aboard. What an at-bat. A leadoff walk to Corey Hart.
You can't ask for a better scenario than that. You got guys that up at the plate that can knock the ball out of the ballpark.
Well, Ron Renicky has pulled Kotsay back again. And anxious to see who he's calling on. There's Craig Counsell. And obviously Renicky is going to make the bunt play here and try to advance the tying run into scoring position.
Must be something wrong with Hairston. Hairston can bunt. You wonder why you go with Counsell to drop down a bunt.
So Counsell will hit. Counsell, one of the best bunters on the team. And he's going to be up there to drop one down with Corey Hart at first. 3-2 Phillies, bottom of the 10th. That's a strike on Counsell.
Got to be a tough guy to bunt on. He's got a good sinker, and he'll probably going to be pounding that sinker down in the zone. Try and get Counsell to pop it up.
Sinker ball is always tough to bunt on.
Got the big lumber coming up next in Braun. And then Fielder. Council gets a bunt down. It's a beauty. Polanco makes the play. Council a sacrifice bunt.
Oh, how good was that bunt? You can't roll it out there any better. Well done. Well, base hit away from tying it up.
Stage is set for Braun after the sacrifice from Craig Council.
Perfectly executed. The bend in the knees, and he just catches the baseball at the end of the bat. You see the way that barrel is above the handle. You can't pop it up when you do that.
Well, the Brewers are going to have a couple of cracks at it with their big boppers. Hart at second, the tying run. And Braun at the plate. Last time the Brewers were in the postseason in 2008, as it got down to the end of the year, in mid to late September, it was Braun who came up with some of the biggest hits. He is up in a spot here. We could put one more stake on that board.
Matson's only given up 2 home runs this year. That covers 52 innings. Tough guy to get the ball in the air.
Braun had a double in the 8th, has 2 hits tonight. Was 1 for 3 off Cliff Lee. His double came against Brad Lidge. 2 balls, no strikes. A base hit will tie it. A home run wins it. There's a strike. 2-1 on Braun. With the 2 hits tonight, Braun's batting average at .332. His percentage points behind Jose Reyes of the Mets. Two and 2.
82 miles an hour. The change up by Madsen in on the hands of Ryan.
Braun's last walk-off homer against the Phillies, that was 2 years ago. His other walk-off home run was here at Miller Park in 08. That was a grand slam. Two balls, 2 strikes.
These are the spots Ryan Braun lays in bed thinking about. He loves to be in the spotlight.
See what Madsen gives him here. 2 and 2, and Braun stays alive. A changeup from Madsen. Run remains at 2-2. Madsen did not face Braun or Fielder yesterday. We'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Braun swings and misses. Down it goes. Madsen strikes him out.
That change up and a good one. Fastballs, change ups. That time a change up, and down and in. You can see the grip. He turns it over. That's why it goes down and in. And Ryan over the top of it. Let's see what the Phillies do here. Do you walk Fielder to put the go-ahead run, winning run in first base, and go after Casey McGee? Oh, honestly, I can't see him pitching the Prince here. I mean, Prince Fielder is one of those hitters, like a Pujols, like a Ryan Howard, that you just don't pitch to, you put them on, even though they represent the winning run.
That old managerial's book that they reference says you never put the winning run on, but Charlie Manuel is going to take his chances with Casey McGee.
Well, you do it with special hitters, and Prince Fielder certainly is in that category.
The second intentional walk against Fielder today, leads the National League in that category. There's another page in that baseball book that says this game allows the opportunity of redemption. And Casey McGee, who struck out with 2 on in the 8th inning, will have his chance at redemption here. McGee's been a struggling hitter. Turned it around a little bit in the second half. But what a moment for him. 2 on with 2 away. Corey Hart with a leadoff walk. Fielder representing the winning run. And
Madsen, not a guy that has that big breaking ball, the big slider that goes away from Casey. That's the pitch that has given him some problems. He's got the changeup and the fastball that comes in on him.
McGee has great power to the opposite field. And Madsen misses. 3 balls, no strikes.
Let him hack. Four-seamer down the middle, let him swing.
Brewers have been swinging away a lot this year with 3-0 counts. Part of the aggressive nature. McGee takes. And it's 3-1. Phillies got a run on the top of this inning on a throwing error by Hawkins. Brewers trying to avoid their 5th consecutive loss. A hitter's count, 3-1 to McGee, and a swing and a miss.
He took a little off. Best pitch to hit was that 3-0 pitch. Runners are going to be on the move now.
Down to the last strike. Full count, 2 outs. And McGee, a bouncing ball to third. Polanco, low throw, and that's a ball game. The Phillies have won 3 in a row here in Milwaukee. Ryan Madsen saves it again. And the Brewers have lost 5 straight. And things are tightening up in the National League Central. Cardinals won tonight. They beat the Braves. And the Brewers lead is down to 6, separated by only 5 in the loss column. That'll do it for Miller Park. Our final score, Philadelphia 3-2 in 10 innings. Brewers baseball returns tomorrow for a special presentation on the 10th anniversary of 9/11. Coverage begins at 12:30. Brewers are back on MLW next Saturday as they battle the Reds. Coverage begins at 6. Coming up next, it's the Sports Fanatics Final Out postgame show. For Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson. Thanks for watching. So long from Miller Park.